stuff.
Sorry if that was stream, Chaz. Love you. Love you lots, mate. Great.
Love it. The stream turns on. Slag off the player. Oh.
He's my actual friend, so it's okay.
Just watching, yeah? Fantastic. Oh, I've got no idea what hour we're on.
126. We've broken the halfway point, guys.
Yay! Happy halfway point, everybody. So welcome to the 126th hour of Adventurers Wanted.
Whoa.
Why am I applauding myself?
Just a few things before we start. This performance, like all of our performances, is a relaxed performance. So that just means we've got a relaxed attitude inside the movement from our audience members. Just for the benefit of anyone who can't be still or silent throughout the duration of the show. If at any point you do want to leave, feel free to head through the door at the back. There's some water out there and stuff, so just have a breather, come back in when you're good luck to it. The lights on as well. So the lights will stay like this. I don't know how it's been this morning. There have been a couple of ups and downs.
It did go out once.
Yeah, if we do go out, I do apologise, but I'll get them back on as quick as I can. Sound-wise, no loud bangs or anything, but there will be some background music that might be eerie, that might not be eerie, but probably going to be eerie.
It's
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's an access requirement. We make sure that you guys know all of this because we are, I think, the most accessible show on the Fringe. So.
Give me a shout if you need anything. We've got like loads of headsets as well, so you can grab some of those if you'd like them. But I think that's it for now, so I'll pass over to Leo, who's the games master for the next few hours.
Leo,
Hey, hello. Welcome. I'm the Games Master from now until 10 o'clock. If you don't know what we're doing here, this is a tabletop role-playing game, Adventurers Wanted, which means that the three people on my left and right here all control individual characters. And I, the Games Master, control the world that they interact in, that they're in, the fantasy setting that we set our story in. We mediate between us, the players and the Games Master, using dice to try and keep things fair or hilariously unfair, depending on how the dice fall. Sometimes things that should be very easy turn out not to be.
New dice, Leo. New dice.
Chris had a bad morning with his dice.
No, bad evening, but there we go.
Yeah, well, both. So, obviously, there's 125 hours of backstory, so I'm not going to tell you the whole thing. But I'll give you a quick catch-up. The players are playing characters who are members of the crew of the Spirit of the Horizon, a scientific research vessel which, on its latest official mission, awakened a dead god, as you do, and then they cast a spell to try and get away from the dead god, quite understandably, but they were not in control of that spell, and it sent them into a brand new reality. And over the last month that they've been here, our characters have been trying to come to terms with what happened, learn about the new world, and desperately trying to find a way home. The last thing that happened is the players discovered, I guess, or were shown, the floating city of Clathid, which is obscured and hidden from the citizens below in the Trockham Taldera by this static perpetual thunderstorm that is there always. In the city of Clathid, they found almost exclusively wizards. And they were asked, as outsiders, who are not party to the politics of Clathid, to solve a murder that had just happened about 10 days ago. And they went around, talked to they talked to the prime suspect for quite some time, and were led to inspect the corpse of the deceased, Fenlon, Brother Fenlon, and Iriag, who's sort of a 6-7 foot matted, furry creature. And where we immediately left off, the players had just come into the crypt of the Necromancer School, and we'll pick up immediately there. They had a little bit of a combat, but before we jump straight back in, let's meet our players and their characters. So, starting on my left here, tell us your name, your character's name, and tell us a little bit about what would distinguish them from the rest of the crew.
Hi guys, I'm Naomi. I'm playing a character called Brina Froddle, who is the head arcane researcher on the Spirit of the Horizon, which is our ship. She's been here since the first mission that Leo mentioned, and she's going to be super keen for what's about to happen. So yeah.
I'm Johnny. I'm playing Alistair Vondercott. He is a dwarven bard. He is very undwarfy. He likes scholarly pursuits like writing and singing. He loves gold and women. Although recently he's found that the women don't tend to like him very much. So he's feeling a bit sad.
That's okay, buddy.
Is singing a scholarly pursuit?
I think so.
It can be.
Okay.
Depends on the lyrics.
Depends on what he's singing, really. Yeah, it's true. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Sanguine. Sanguine is a warlock. He is also thick as two short planks. It makes for some very amusing moments. We'll see how it goes.
He's also a tiefling, hence the voice that, yeah.
Yes,
which is
I look like a demon. I am basically the demon from Dungeon Keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Hellboy.
Hellboy with the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Alistair and Brina, what have you been doing on the ship just before the familiar gold spark of teleportation magic that's been playing havoc with your crew plays across your skin? Brina, what do you find yourself doing?
Brina's been locked up in her research lab with her assistant, much to her chagrin. And she has been studying a school of magic that previously she's dabbled in, but is now considering taking on fully. She will not have any of the books with her, but she will have her notebook with her, as she always does.
Of course. What would a wizard be?
You weren't here.
Alistair was trying to sort. A lot of his beard got burnt off yesterday. He's trying to sort it so it looks all
It's
right.
true. They've just come from a battle with a lich. It wasn't great.
So it's quite a bit shorter, but he's tried to put little knots in it.
Oh, okay, cool. Styled it out. Yeah, nice. So you find
That's
him
what
in
he
front
said.
of the mirror, braiding himself. And as the gold familiar teleportation magic plays across your skin, grows brighter, and then suddenly you're no longer on the ship, on the Spirit of the Horizon, in your cabin. You both find yourselves outside in a massive graveyard. Just in front of you is an opening into a very somber-looking building, roll perception checks for me.
20, modified 20.
Modified 20. You can see.
Do you focus on your beard? Self-conscious.
It's not finished. Don't look.
Brina, you can see that there are just inside the somber building, there are sort of bones all over the floor. There are scorch marks where Eldritch Blast magic has sort of damaged the wall. There's obviously been an arcane battle of some kind happen here. You also notice, because you've seen quite a lot of it recently, the very familiar distinct dust that is created when a cleric destroys undead, which is their jam. Off just round the corner, adjacent to the graveyard, you see a large, flat building with a great circular sort of edifice on top of it, with a faint red magic glowing all around it. And beyond that, you see a city full of many distinct, a jumble of architectural styles that we'll come to should we need to. What would Alistair and Brina like to do at this point?
Is there any other members of the crew around?
No, not that you can see. But there's clearly been, like I said, a battle just inside this crypt.
I will ready my crossbow.
Yep.
Yep, I'll be ready to cast anything I need to cast. Alistair, do you know what?
I have no idea.
Who was out here before?
You roll a history check for me.
I'm asking Alistair, to be fair. So
Okay.
roll history checks. I forgot how good my history was. I rolled 9 plus 9 is 18.
18. You're pretty sure Aya
Yeah.
was off ship for a few hours. That's it. That's the only one Brina would know.
I was here not too long ago. I don't recognise this place though. Oh, do you know that Wally's dead?
Thanks, dude.
I heard that Wally was dead, yes.
It's very sad.
Yeah,
very sad.
he really did help us when we needed him.
Really did? Okay, yeah.
Well, no.
Move along.
When I met him, he was very helpful. Okay. Right. Can I roll a survival check to see if I can see any trace of Aya anywhere, like where she might have come from?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a survival check for me.
I'm going to try and survival check the sneaky rogue. Right, that's a 17.
Usually Aya is incredibly sneaky, but you can see signs of a scuffle just inside, as I said, and there are footprints going both in and out. And the footprints end at you.
I think, against my better judgment, we should go into the crypt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to.
But there's only 2 of us.
That's true. But we might find whoever's teleported into where people were in the crypt were.
Okay.
Right. We are going to stealth in. I assume you're on board with
Yeah,
that.
both roll stealth checks for me.
Me neither.
Don't worry, I am not very
10.
deceptive.
4.
What's your passive perception?
A passive is 10, mate.
No, there you are. So you see them both. As you two walk into the crypt, Alistair, you kick a bone that's just sort of lying on the floor. No, you kick a bone that's just sort of lying on the floor, and you see it is a crypt, but it feels a bit more clinical than a burial place. It feels cold, like artificially cold, but there's no damp in the air. And just at the other end of the quite small room, you see a tall, horned, red-skinned creature standing over a dead Ariag. And you see them both.
Can I slightly retcon that?
Yeah, go on.
I am sat on the floor meditating.
He's sat on the floor meditating.
It looks like he's sat on the floor meditating.
But you definitely hear them both come in.
I do not react.
Well, he seems pretty like. Excuse me.
Hello? I can both hear and see you.
Lovely. I'm going to approach tentatively. Who are you?
You see this small 2-foot gnome, by far the smallest person you've seen so far since escaping from your gem. And she's sort of dressed in faintly glowing, quite ornate robes, carrying a notebook in her left hand. Behind her is another small creature, this one about 3.5 to 4 foot. He's got a beautifully braided beard and a lovely hat.
Has the teleportation happened again?
Oh, so you were with our crewmates. Yes. Hi.
Yes, I've been with you the entire time.
Has he?
You've definitely not seen him around the ship.
Yeah, I was just about to say no.
Yes, I have been there the entire time. I'll roll a deception check for it.
Yeah, please do.
It's a 13.
Can I
I'm gonna
get
roll
insight
insight
from you
against
both?
that.
Yeah.
19.
Oh.
Well, 11, so you're going to know.
No, as the ship's scribe, you're always looking for interesting things to turn into story. This guy's pretty interesting. You'd have noticed him.
I think I'm also a bit scared of him, so don't want to correct him.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes.
I'll check the ship's records on that when we get back. That seems like an insight.
I
Okay.
think you'll find
Can
I've been on the cleaning staff. I think you'll find I've been on the cleaning staff this entire time.
Could you remind me who the head of cleaning is?
Interesting.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
I genuinely don't know in character.
No, he's been told earlier.
Was he?
He was told this morning.
That's a 19 on an intelligence. -1, so it's 18.
Galbert. You don't know his second name, but his first name's Galbert.
There is a puny halfling, much like you, puny gnome, who is in charge of the team. I deal with the high shelving units.
What's his name?
Gal bit.
It's close. It's very close.
It's close enough, I think, for what we're dealing with right now. Okay, great. Yeah, sure. Okay, so
I have been there this entire time.
Sure.
I am your friend.
You know that he wasn't.
Is that another deception check?
Yes.
I feel like that's another deception check.
rolling-
It is.
I'm rolling new insight.
Is that a natural 20?
27.
Well, you know, Holler's a
beat that.
tiefling. Tieflings are your friends sometimes.
Alice has already told me, so.
All right, there we go.
Right,
But
well.
I am exceptionally charming.
Sure. Right. So.
The
let's,
dice speak.
Okay. Well, what happened here?
Honest, I don't know. We were told to look for a body. I think this is the body. Someone killed it. We don't know who. We're supposed to work out who did, I think. I mean, it seems pretty obvious. We just talk to people until they tell us. That's what I do.
Okay.
Okay. We may try that approach.
Excellent. I am on board with that approach.
We're also going to do a bit of more subtle investigation alongside, just to make sure that approach really works.
Fine, puny gnome.
Do you know Holler by any chance?
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I know
Insight.
everybody.
My insight was 12.
Do I roll insight too?
Yeah, why not?
26.
10.
I know everybody,
This
and you
is
believe
amazing.
me.
I think Alistair, for other races, he believes all other races are related to each other.
Wow! Wow!
Wow. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So he's gonna think, oh yeah. Okay,
So we're going to add racism to your sexism with this character being a bit of a wrong un.
he's not a sexist. He loves women a lot. He's
In
just-
the wrong way.
In the wrong way. Yeah.
So Alistair is the hashtag problematic fave of our campaign. Great. Let's move this along. Okay, right. Okay. Fine. Sure. You know what? We don't have time for this. We need to figure this out. What are we getting in return for helping with this?
Something to do with magic.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Sounds like we're in the right place. Okay, right.
I
Let's.
think these people are all magicians. Wizards? Wizards, that's the
Wizards.
right term.
Oh yes, we're in that. Have you heard about the City of Magicians?
No, I haven't. No. Why? Why would I not be told about a city of magicians? This
We
is
were-
literally my field of
I
expertise.
should have.
We were
mentioned-
teleported here, I don't know.
Okay, right. Let's make a move. I want to investigate this body and see if I can discern what killed it.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Sorry, my character sheet's on my phone. 16.
16. This person, from the coloration of... Well, firstly, he's been dead for about 10 days, from what you can see. And you're astonished that the body isn't more decomposed than it is. But then I guess it has been kept in this quite obvious sort of cold room to try and fight against that. And also, magic's a thing. Obviously... due to sort of the discoloration of the veins in the face, you kind of get the idea that he was killed by poison.
Okay.
Can I
There's
do
no obvious wound.
Can I do a quick detect magic round the body?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't need
You
to
need to
roll
roll.
anything.
You don't need to roll anything. There is a slight transmutation magic on the body, and a slight necromancy magic on the body, just to keep it from decomposing, but there's nothing sinister. Depending on, of course, on your opinion of necromancy.
What are you doing?
He's
Just looking at the body.
there's some magic keeping him fresh.
Do you know what kind?
This makes sense.
I think it's necromantic in some way.
Okay. All
And
right.
there's some transmutation as well.
Interesting.
Can I stop patting down the body?
Yeah.
While you guys are doing magic, we'll be like, maybe there is a physical wound somewhere.
Roll
That's
an
a good idea.
investigation check for me.
It's a -1,
Yep.
and it's a natural 1. It's a critical failure.
He's very furry. You can't really get to the skin. You can't really see through into any skin because of the amount of thick, patted fur on this body.
Cool. So while you guys are doing that, I'm molesting the corpse, right?
Great.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lovely. Cool.
Is this an area I recognise? It's
No.
okay. All right. So, I guess the best shot is to head into the city, see who's using necromancy, who's using transmutation, who might have access to poisons.
This seems sensible.
That seems sensible to me.
Hang on. We're in the School of Necromancy.
Oh, that's helpful.
That's good.
That is
Yes.
helpful
Good
information.
to have.
We are in
Thank
the
you.
School of Necromancy.
This crypt is in the School of Necromancy.
Yes.
So theoretically, they found the murdered body and did this post-murder to help preserve it so it could be investigated.
So it hasn't just been murdered.
No, it was murdered about 10... Sorry, I should have shared that with you 10 days ago.
Okay.
I guess.
Yes, that is exactly correct.
I know. Thank you. Okay, let's. Is there any way can we see a university building outside the crypt or anything like that?
Like from what you saw, the very nice looking, well constructed, big flat building that you noticed when you were stood outside, that fits in with a college of magic. It's ostentatious enough.
I'm gonna go there.
Okay. Brina begins to walk out of the crypt.
Follow me.
I follow.
I follow also.
Fantastic. On
I
your
have
way,
no reason not to.
on your way out, on your way out, you bump into a Vosu. Vosu are these sort of half fox, half human-ish type of creatures. Grey fur with red sort of flecks here and there.
Do I know him?
You know him as Sick Tree stands alone in the glade. You two don't recognise him, but he looks very nervous, and he sort of goes, "You've been taking a long time, and oh dear, you're not the same people."
We're not. It would be
There
really
were
helpful to get some
undead
information.
in the crypt that had to be dealt with violently.
I'm just an undergrad. I don't deal with the undead in the crypt. I'm sorry.
Do you deal with cleanup? Because there is a cleanup in the crypt.
Maybe I'll go and check the rota.
Like, I can help with the cleanup later. That's fine. But is that all we've got from? Sorry, what was your name again?
Sanguine.
Sanguine. All we've got from Sanguine, our colleague here, is that we were asked to investigate the murder of this body. I've had a look at it. It looks like he was poisoned. Do you know anything about some necromancy magic that was cast on it?
Well, yes, we tried to delay the rotting of the corpse.
That's what I thought.
That explains it.
Do you guys see that?
What?
I look at where he's pointing.
And you turn around, and what is very clearly the ghost, the translucent figure of the body you just saw, is stood by the crypt.
Oh
Oh, that was not there before.
no!
Interesting.
Can
Is
we
it an
talk to
angry ghost?
It doesn't look angry. It looks sad. It doesn't like being dead.
Can we talk to it?
You can try.
Hello.
Who poisoned you?
I know not who poisoned me.
Well, who had reason to poison you?
I was walking in the woods. I like the woods. I took a nap, and there was something wet on my ear.
Someone stabbed him in the ear.
I think someone might have poured poison in his ear.
That is also true. Maybe it was both.
There were no stab wounds around his ears.
Maybe it was a very thin knife.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just going to humour
Let's go
this.
with poison.
tiefling.
Someone
Yeah.
bit him.
The Vosu turns to you and goes, "I don't really like ghosts per se. They're not my."
You are a student of necromancy.
I
Buck
know-
up.
But listening to what he's saying, the Grand Magi, whom that is for you two, he used to like walking in Kale's Wood. Not very many of us go to Kale's Wood anymore. There's
Then we go to Kale's Wood. It is decided. I'm
Hang
off
on.
towards Kale's Wood.
But just
All right.
Sanguine.
Do you know which way you're going?
No.
In theory, hold monster wouldn't work on a tiefling, would it?
Yeah, it works on Earth.
In theory, yeah, whole person would work on a tiefling.
Yeah, but I've only got hold monster. I don't have hold monster.
Hold monster would work.
I'm not wasting that many spell points on this.
I have counterspell. Bring it.
So do I, and I can counterspell your counterspell. We'll infight later.
That's great entertainment.
Brina's too sensible for that. She's going to ignore this going on. We're going to carry on. So is the Ariag the
I'm
Grand
currently walking
Magi?
the middle distance going.
Hang on, sorry, I didn't hear what Nay said. What did you say?
So that Ariag is the Grand Magi,
Yes,
and he used to walk in this wood.
was.
Why don't you want to walk in this wood anymore?
It's just overgrown and not very nice. When the population of the city is not what it used to be, there's not really the kinds of people who can do the kind of work that... They're all snobs.
Ah. what you're saying is you don't have maintenance workers.
We don't have maintenance. We have maintenance workers, but only for the useful things. The woods were not deemed useful.
So what you're saying is everyone has a degree and no one wants to work maintenance. Interesting.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
That was in character, by the way.
Are the woods
In which case, the Vosu just kind of looks ashamed.
Are the woods
Good.
dangerous?
Well, Brother Fenland died in them.
But is it a common occurrence for people to die?
Pouring poison in someone's ear is obviously not a common occurrence.
But I just don't want to walk into danger.
It is a wood.
Well,
What is the
fine.
worst that can be in a wood?
We've been in worse places, Alistair.
I know you got killed by a lich yesterday. It's just been a really tough.
I will
I
make
know,
you a
Alistair,
promise
but-
now,
Alistair.
puny dwarf. If there is a lich in the woods, I will deal with it. And you
Alistair.
can run away like the scared little dwarf that you are.
Look, I may be little, and I may be scared.
You're also a dwarf, so where are you going with this?
Alistair. For the good of the spirit.
For the good of the spirit, let's go.
Okay.
For the good of the spirit.
hang on.
Is this our catchphrase? I know our catchphrase.
I just
We
came up with
named
it.
the ship
Could I
Elon.
ask?
Oh.
God.
I'm going to ignore that. Could I ask who, in character, who's the new Grand Magi? Who's taking over? May I ask?
Oh, it won't be decided until all of this is cleared up. But next in line is the head of my school.
And you're the head of the you're in the necromancy school.
I'm in the necromancy school. It's
He
Balfield.
definitely didn't do it. We had established that earlier, that he definitely didn't do it. I can't remember why or how, but he definitely didn't.
Did he have any
Balfield-
other
Well, that's not. I
enemies?
was just asking who was next in line so we could communicate with them.
Just because he was accused beforehand and was very upset about it.
Oh, I wouldn't know very much about Brother Frenland's enemies. I'm just an undergrad. Can I go yet?
I just need to know the name of the head of your
I've
school.
got an essay in on Monday.
Who's the head of your school?
Balfield.
Balfield. Thank you. And where will I find them?
In the necromancy school, but he's very busy, and you guys already talked to him, and I know it wasn't you two, but
It's
We'll-
fine.
We just want to find him after we take our trip into the
Does he
woods.
have any loved ones? Like a interlude kind of
Fenland
life?
and Balfield were very close.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, there was some hint that there may have been something going on. Like they had a picture on each other's desks.
Oh,
You all know what that means.
I do.
They were friends. I mean nothing by this. I mean they were friends.
Oh,
What are you
right.
implying?
I'm not implying anything.
On we go then to the woods.
Okay. Sick Tree points you in the correct direction, the Vosu. And you walk through the city. It's a complete mix match of architectural styles, as I said. But what really stands out is up on the left, as you walk through the city, is this castle-like structure with turrets and an outer wall up on a hill, high up on a hill, looking down over the rest of the city. And as you walk past the bottom of the hill, there are gates and obviously courthouses and council chambers all at the bottom of this hill, which is the closest the city seems to get. The castle seems to stand separate and alone from the rest of it.
I think the Emperor lives there. Yes.
There's an emperor.
I think so. His empire is very small.
All around you, as you look, the sky has this edge of thunderstorm. But it's weird because the thunderstorm's not in the sky. Directly above you is blue with lovely potted clouds, but the thunderstorm is on the edge of the horizon, right down at the bottom, like a thick band. Wherever you look, you'd need to get to higher ground to be able to see anything more. Kaleswood is just behind the High Council chambers, which Sanguine wouldn't recognise, I think.
No.
Because, yeah. And there's this wonderful sort of porticoed with columns kind of a building. It doesn't look like there's much going on here right now. And the wood is just very easily accessible. You can walk straight into it by walking past this building.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Walking to the woods.
You enter this wood, and it gets very close, very dark, very quickly. They are like, not to labour a point, but they are obviously enchanted woods. The trees stand not very far apart, and they haven't been managed either. You guys are used to woods being, especially woods in cities, this close to cities, being a utility, being a managed resource. You know, trees would be in lines, very uniform, so that people could access the timber easily. This is just a wild forest. It's not so much a wood, it's a forest now.
Brina's loving life.
I theorize this is magical in some way.
Roll an Arcana check.
I'm also going to roll an Arcana check.
I'm going to.
16.
Yes, it is magical in some way.
11.
I know it!
11. I rolled a 2.
Oh no.
I rolled a 13.
13. You get the feeling,
Minus one
Sanguine.
modifier, still roll the highest.
I know. You get the feeling, Sanguine, that there's
I've got a plus 9 on that.
there's something of transmutation and something of conjuration in the air around here.
I wouldn't know how to even spell those words.
No, you wouldn't, but you're probably aware of the schools of magic.
The one that changes things and the one that summons things
Exactly.
has effect on this.
Oh, transmutation, conjuration, sure.
Yeah, those, exactly. You are correct.
Can everybody roll survival checks for me, please?
That's what I was about to ask, thank you.
4.
18.
12.
Okay. Brina, you notice a well-worn path
Thank God.
through this horrendous mismatch of trees, which, when I say well-worn, it's not like a mud path. It's still grass, and it's not been used enough for it to be destroyed and de-seeded. But it stands out from the rest of the long grass as the place where somebody has regularly walked through.
Alright, I'm going to point this path out to everyone. Look, this seems like the path he's treading.
I do not see the path.
It's there.
I still do not see it.
Do you have
Can
dark
I
vision? Can you see in the dark?
A dancing light? To
I have dark vision.
go
It will
where?
make no difference. I rolled a 4. I cannot see it.
Absolutely. So,
I will follow you, though, tiny gnome.
Okay, fine. I'll take the lead.
Johnny, describe how your dancing light. Oi!
Well,
there it
we
goes.
would
all the
need.
lights go out.
First, all the lights go out.
First, all light disappears.
Then it looks like someone's being lit by a phone screen.
First, all void.
I think Alistair has a little pouch of sand from his actual home.
Okay.
He's going to take it and throw it into the air, and some of it is going to illuminate.
That's
So
lovely.
a faint dust, almost like a dotted line that you need to follow,
Achoo!
lies
Rub the
its
flame
way
from
out.
that.
Lies its
Sounds
way
good.
out ahead of you.
Did you just say bless you? Because that is very offensive in my culture.
I'm sorry? Is that offensive?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Damn you is better, honestly.
Damn.
So if you
Thank
sneeze,
you.
if you sneeze, we need to say
Thank
damn
is
you.
very
Correct.
offensive in my culture.
Sure.
I will now never sneeze again in game. There
Can
we go. Good.
Can I get perception checks from everybody, please?
8.
10.
15.
8, 10, and 15. The breeze passes through the trees very gently as Alistair's dancing lights lead the way to a slightly more cleared area, which has one tree standing in the middle of this sort of open area with a very worn sort of trunk on one side. You get the impression that this is a hangout space. This is something that has been cleared specifically to go and relax in.
What do I smell?
What do you smell? The leafy scents of grass and the odd flower here and there fills the air. There's a buzz going past you as insects feed on the flowers. Roll a perception check for me.
11.
That's what you smell.
I don't communicate any of that to them because it is not useful information. But
No.
I'm enjoying it. It's quite pleasant.
There we go.
Do you
It's
point
an
out
idyllic
Do you
scene.
point out what you see? Because no, I didn't see it either.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
Who saw it?
What did you see?
So what? The insects?
The hangout.
The hangout. Oh
We've all
no,
seen
no,
the hangout
you've
now.
all seen it.
course
You've
we
just
have.
been led.
Sorry.
Sorry, you've just been led by the
Although
path
there are
to
insects
this
around,
cleared-
that's going to make for a very interesting session. Fantastic. Okay.
Can I start looking around the trees?
Yeah, I'd like
Absolutely.
to look around as
Yeah,
well.
roll a.
Because he said he fell asleep by a tree. And
Yeah.
This looks like a good.
I'm going to say roll an investigation check specifically.
11.
Natural one.
Well, I may
You
as well
look
roll
at-
it, it'll be better than yours.
Alistair, you look at the lone tree in the middle of this clearing and you go, well, it can't have been that one, and you move away and start looking at the trees around. Whereas Brina, you walk right up to the end of the path and have a look around that tree, and you do indeed find an old rotting sort of meat sandwich. Obviously,
Can I eat the
somebody.
sandwich?
Yes, roll a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 5.
Even for a tiefling, this is disgusting.
I still complete it.
Okay, you throw up.
Excellent.
That
was not a good sandwich.
Thanks for reading the evidence. That was really helpful.
There? Yes.
It was just a. Oh.
If that, it
what-
might be poisoned.
Is it poison?
You'll have to find out.
So far, there are no ill effects, apart from vomiting it all up violently.
And
So far, I'm feeling positive.
And at that point, as soon as you finish that sentence, you feel a sting,
Oh.
like low in your kidney.
Okay.
And you take. Yeah, you take a lot of damage.
Are you going to kill a third character?
No,
Pretty
I'm not.
stupid, isn't it?
I'm
I
not.
was talking to Chris, not you.
16. You take 17 piercing damage.
Piercing damage.
Yes. You take 17 piercing damage and
There was glass in the
7, 12. There wasn't glass in the sandwich.
Glass in the sandwich.
And
Down anyway.
30 poison damage.
Whoa!
Oh,
As you reach back and there's a crossbow bolt in your kidney.
Oh.
Oh,
And suddenly another one hits Alistair, and you indeed take. Oh, that was much better for you. You take 9 piercing damage. I rolled 2 once. And 22 poison damage. Can I get combat music, please, Cat?
You didn't check against armor class. You didn't check against armor class.
No.
You rolled ridiculously high, didn't you?
Yes. It was a critical success, which is why it's a 17.
Oh, okay, that makes
Plus,
sense.
they get assassinate because they're assassins. As you turn around to a Vosu and a Komodo in black hooded robes leap out of the tree line, crossbows discarded on their belts, pulling short swords out of their scabbards.
Despite having
Cat-
lost most of my hit points, what they get is a smile.
Can I get?
You fools.
Can I get everybody's dex scores, please?
14.
14. 14.
You're joking.
I am not.
All right, everybody, roll off.
19.
Okay, so we'll go Brina, then Sanguine, and then Alistair. But first, unfortunately for you guys, the assassins both have dex of 16. So one of them's going to come in and attack Sanguine, one going to attack Alistair, because the men are the important ones.
What?
Yeah.
Sexism working for me.
I'm just telling you, this is the culture they grew up in, and this is who they're going to attack. Is that an... That's a 12. That won't hit you, surely.
15.
15.
16. 16.
And
I've got my jump on full time.
that is a 15 against Alistair.
Cutting words.
Cutting words. what do you say to distract this assassin? The Komodo's attacking you, the Vosu is
the
attacking
lizard
the lizard person,
Yeah.
yes.
That's from.
I'm going to.
And a fox person attacking you.
I'm going to call him a cold-blooded brute, and black is so last
I
year.
thought you were going to say
I
something
thought
else.
you were like,
Well, with
like,
all the
PG-13.
shows I've seen at the Edinburgh Fringe so far, I'm going to call him a cold-blooded brute. Yeah, okay, roll your cutting words for me.
That is a D10.
Is it? Because you're level 10 now.
Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome.
It's, yeah, that one.
they're starting to get powerful.
10.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, that misses. He comes in and goes for an overhand slash, and he just stops there like, there was no need for that. This is open combat. And then he realises that you've bamboozled him, and he gets very annoyed at himself. Brina, you are stood by the tree with Sanguine right next to you on your right, and Alistair on your left with 2 assassins on each of them. 1 assassin on each of them.
I'm not in melee range of them, am I?
You would be if you wanted to be.
I don't want to be.
But since they're in melee with your allies, they don't necessarily... I mean,
Sweet.
you would actually be in melee range of both of them.
Wait, so basically, but they're not attacking me, so
No.
I can move away from them and do distance attack
I'm
without provoking attacks of opportunity.
I'm like technically no, but I'm going to say yes because of the flavour of this particular bit.
Sweet. I am gonna.
I.e., they see that you're a woman and don't care about you.
Cool. Great. They're gonna care in a
Yeah.
second when I find the
Yeah,
spell
it's
I
not
want.
great. It's unhealthy.
It's really unhealthy, and I'm gonna teach them a lesson. Right. Okay.
Unfortunately, Sanguine doesn't notice because he doesn't know things like gender.
Molding. Thank you. Sculpting my spell
No, he hates everyone.
around
loves everyone.
Sanguine and Alistair.
Thanks, babe.
I am gonna cast Ice Storm.
Oh, okay, cool.
Whoa!
Can you quickly read Ice Storm for me?
Ice Storm, a hail of rock-hard ice pounds to the ground in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. The range is 300 feet, so I'm good. Each creature in the cylinder must make a dexterity saving throw, but I've shaped it around duty because I'm on vacation. Creature takes 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 4d6 cold damage on a failed save. My spell DC is 17, half as much
They
as success.
both fail.
Yes!
I rolled a 12 and a 16.
First time I've cast the spell. Oh yeah. Okay, so that is. Let's do the bludgeoning first.
So as you guys watch, Brina rolls out of the way, and then suddenly the air becomes super chilled, and this snow starts falling from nowhere. The grass itself freezes into white. And have you played The Witcher 3? Because it's that bit in The Witcher 3.
I have played The Witcher 3. I know what bit you mean.
Yeah, and
This show is in no way affiliated with
No,
The Witcher
it's not.
or any of its constituent
But if they would like to be.
No, it's not.
drop us a bell, CD Projekt. And suddenly these hailstones come out of nowhere and start pounding the assassins, but they seem to sculpt themselves around Sanguine and Alistair. What's your damage?
Just for the benefit of everyone else, she's very martial in her attack, so her feet are planted on the ground. She's pushed it onto them.
I just somewhat cheated.
She has just done 11 bludgeoning damage, and
Okay.
then that's 1, 5, 8, and 12 cold damage.
Wow. So 46 points of damage in one round. It's not bad. We're starting to get serious players here. And anything else?
I can do nothing else.
Okay,
so-
cool. That's the end of your turn then. Sanguine.
I smile. I think there's blood in my teeth, but that's good because it makes me angrier.
It might be snow.
Oh, it's difficult terrain until the end of my next turn as well.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
If I walk through this storm of ice, will it hurt me?
No.
No.
It's constantly swirling
It's
around
sculpted
Are you asking
around
me?
you.
Are you
Yes.
asking me in character? Nope.
me. I step forward, look at the one that shot the crossbow at me, and say, "You really shouldn't have done that," and cast Vampiric Touch and grab his head.
Fantastic. Roll and tap roll for me.
Come on, no puzzles. 22.
Yeah, that hits.
Right, that's 5d6 necrotic damage.
And you get half back.
And I get half back.
5d6.
5, yeah, I'm passing level 5. 6,
Oh, of course you are. You're a warlock.
9.
If it's not clear, in this particular edition, warlocks only get the highest level of spell slot.
Correct. He takes 10 points of necrotic damage, and I gain back 5.
Okay.
This spell lasts for a minute, so I can do it 10 more times.
Who needs healing
9 more
potions?
times.
9 more times.
You've done it one time. Okay, cool.
My hands are now wreathed in black necrotic energy.
Absolutely, and they're literally like sucking around his head through his ears and his mouth. And he screams and reels back ready to attack you. But
Correct.
first, it's Alistair's turn.
I am going to
You're in combat with the Komodo guy just in front of
I'm going to take hold of his hand. Like
you.
this,
So he's gone like this, and you've just gone.
Very tenderly.
Yeah.
Do you want? Hang on. Do you want it?
I'm just going to cast suggestion.
Okay. Sure. What would you like to suggest to this guy?
I'm going to be like, look around. We are pretty powerful. Lay down your weapon and surrender.
Is that some wisdom saving throw? Yeah. Against.
Spell 16.
I rolled a 15. So
Oh.
the Komodo, his eyes soften as he looks at you, and he getting pelted by hail from the side, and he just puts his short sword down.
Can I softly sing to him? Let it go.
Don't
That's enough.
continue.
That's enough.
Disney is in no way affiliated
And
with
then
this
we-
ship there.
Less than
We-
8
we
seconds is fine.
He unclips his crossbow from his belt, lays it on the floor, and just sort of sits cross-legged in front of you. Cool.
I pat him on the head.
Does he get to save against that next turn as well? I
I'm
believe.
not-
Double check
No,
that for me.
8 hours.
Yeah, no worries. Okay,
save, 8 hours.
so
Yeah, ridiculously overpowered spell, but that's good.
Good for us.
so the Vosu is going to attack you twice
She is welcome to try.
with the short sword. Thank you very much, Kat. And I believe those will both hit, Chris.
What are they?
They are a 22 and a 24.
Those do indeed hit me.
Yes. I thought they might. So you take 4 and 5, so 9 piercing damage. And can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Hang on, I've taken 9 damage from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's 13, but I've got Dark Lord's own luck. I can add a d10 to that if I don't make the save.
You
Yeah.
didn't make the save.
Adding my d10. 10 on top of that, so that's 23.
That makes the save.
Good.
You take 12 poison damage as you feel the same burning coursing through your veins as you did from the crossbow bolt.
Just as a
What are you
note,
on?
Top right hand
Top
corner.
right. There's 1 health.
I have
He
one
has
hit point
1
remaining.
health.
just as a note for suggestion, the spell ends when the activity is completed.
Oh, does it?
Yes, it does.
Okay, well, he's surrendered, and he's finished surrendering.
So just
So-
do that on your next turn. Just have a think.
Thank you. Cool.
Idea.
That's gonna be Bruno's turn.
Cool. So what I've seen is a guy just sit down on the floor and put his weapon down. And
Does Ice Storm still affect them, or is it only a one-turn
Oh.
thing?
it's
Damn.
a one-turn thing, but
Do you-
it's difficult terrain right now.
What's that?
I forgot to give you your sneak attack damage, but there we are.
Well, that's why I'm still
carry
alive,
on.
that's good, yeah.
We'll carry on.
Cool.
She was
so,
not hidden, I could see her. Oh, first time.
because the ice storm's about to finish, I need to do a different spell. Really. I'm gonna. How bad do they look?
The Vosu looks very unhappy at the fact that her life force is being pulled out of her. But do be quick, because you've not got long. The Komodo is just sort of sat cross-legged on the floor. He's been battered a bit by the storm, but not.
All right. Well,
too
since he looks pretty docile, I'm gonna go for the Komodo, the Vosu, the one attacking
Vosu's
him.
attacking
The Vosu's the one that's still attacking.
Right. Cool. I'm gonna
God,
go.
I
for
thought
the
you
Vosu.
got really brutal there. Since
Yeah,
he
no, that
looks
would've been-
docile,
that'd
I'm
been-
going to attack him.
That'd been rude AF. No, I'm gonna cast Firebolt, please.
Okay.
Plus 9 is 17.
17 hits.
9 plus 5 is 14 damage. 14 fire damage.
14. Cool. Very quickly, Alistair.
I'm
Do you
going
heal people?
No, I don't.
Wonderful.
I give the illusion of being useful, but I'm really.
Don't worry, Bard. It's working.
I'm also going to cast Calm Emotions.
Calm emotion. Yes.
Oh, nice.
That's what I like to see. Is that a save, or is that just happened?
Emotions, I think that might be another wisdom.
It is another wisdom one.
Okay. No, he fails. He definitely fails.
I'm going to be like, let's just enjoy this nice path sit in the woods.
And the Komodo just.
It's a charisma saving throw.
Oh, charisma.
Is it?
No, he still fails.
Sorry.
Very much fails. Cool. And as Alistair just stands there with his hand on a Komodo's shoulder, breathing in and out. And right next to him, there's this bloody battle going on between a Vosu and a Tiefling. That is where we're going to end this particular hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thanks very much. Let's hand back over to our stage manager, Kat, to do the outro.
Thank you so much for joining us. Also, I totally forgot. I don't know how because you're right here. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah,
Isla.
Isla! And this is...
For joining us at BFL at the 5 to 6 p.m. slot as well. So thank you so much, Isla.
Can I just quickly interject and say, it is Isla's last day with us, and we're very sad. She'll be replaced by Tommy tomorrow. So can we give... I know we just gave her a round of applause, but can we give her a really big one for doing this?
The best thing is, she just signed that we should give her applause.
Anyway, back to Kat. Sorry, Kat.
No, don't be silly. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do feel free to come back to either watch or if you guys want to play your main episode, you can buy player tickets through the Suite website or just find a box of contacts in there. But please do feel free to come back. We're streaming every hour as well on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted and we're live tweeting at Adventurers 250. There's Instagram, Facebook, and everything. So get on board, spread the word, follow us, chat with us, come back, play some more. We're here like every day up until the end of the Fringe Cup on the 24th and the 25th. So it's 10 to 3 in the morning and then 5 to 10. So please come back. I'm going to pass over to these guys just to see if we're going to do a wee quick one plug for any shows they're involved in.
I am in a show, and I wrote a show called Heartwood. It is a puppet musical about a little girl dealing with grief. It is on every day at venue 13 at 12 o'clock.
Take cash to the box office.
Yeah, we couldn't go see it yesterday because we couldn't find any cash, which is sad. I would also, I'm not in any other shows, but I'm going to plug some friend shows of mine that I saw yesterday that were amazing. The first one I saw, I'm just going to go in order of what I saw them, is Dan Atfield's Google Drive. He uses Google Correlate and the data that it is to predict the apocalypse, and it's incredibly funny. It's improv music. It's very funny. It's very good. And if you like maths, it's great. If you don't like maths, which I don't, it's still funny.
Cool.
And that's 12:20 every day up until the 28th. Underbelly Med Quad, venue 302 in the Daisy Room.
And he's joining us later to
And
come
he is
play
joining us later to be a player.
Keith, the green dragonborn bard, I believe.
We got with Keith.
He did.
Brilliant, love it. I'm a freelance theatre PR. I work on a bunch of shows up here. I'm going to pick one to pitch now, and that's called Not Lady Chatterley's Lover. It is, in fact, a comic retelling of Lady Chatterley's Lover, which features, I think my favourite bit is where they're in skin suits running through the fields naked in skin suits with balloons carefully placed to imitate certain body parts that then pop and get water, and yeah, you see where this is going. It's on a Sweetgrass Market at 6:30, rest of the Fringe basically, and it's really hilarious. You should give it a go.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us at this hour. As I say, please do feel free to go back whenever you fancy. We've got a really quick turnover, so I will get you always just make your way back out.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
How pissed would you have been if I'd have knocked your character out in one shot?